There is this weird, very quiet thing that happens to almost all of us. I was just thinking about it the other day. You pick up the phone, right? It is an unknown number. And within like maybe 1 or 2 seconds, your brain just completely shuts down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just know. Your whole body just sort of rejects it.
Right. You just know. And you have not even processed the words they are saying yet. But you are already gone. You are swiping away the text or you are getting ready to hang up the call.
It is a total reflex, like flinching.
Exactly. And it is wild because, well, as someone who cares a lot about the art of sales, you spend your whole life on the other side of that flinch. You are the one making the call, staring at your pipeline, just praying someone actually listens.
Oh, man. The heavy phone. We have all been there.
The phone weighs 1,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that the person on the other end is judging you in a fraction of a second. Every sales rep secretly wonders why this happens. Why is that wall so thick? And more importantly, how do some people just seem to slip right past it?
Like they have some kind of magic key.
Yeah. Like they know a secret about human nature that the rest of us just sort of missed. Because it is not about having the best pitch. I mean, you can have the most amazing product, but if they hang up in 3 seconds, it does not matter.
It does not matter at all. The value never even sees the light of day.
So why do we do this? Why do we instantly reject strangers over the phone on autopilot? And how can understanding that brain trick make you not just better at hitting your target, but better at, well, talking to anyone?
It all comes down to a really harsh truth about how we're wired. The brain is incredibly lazy, or I should say, it wants to save energy.
Okay, so it is an energy thing.
Yeah, completely. When you get a text from a close friend, your shoulders drop, you relax, you read every single word. But if you get a text from an unknown number and it starts with like, exclusive offer just for you.
Delete. Right away. Delete.
Right. You do not read the offer. The format alone tells your brain everything it needs to know. It says, this is noise. This is a threat to my time. Throw it out.
A threat to your time. I love that way of putting it, because time is the one thing no one has enough of.
And the brain runs this test in like under 2 seconds. When you answer a call, you are running a threat test. Is this worth my time or is it danger? And if the person calling sounds rushed or they use that super polite, overly upbeat tone.
The tone, the classic, hi, this is so-and-so, is this a good time?
Yes. The brain hears that melody, that specific song, and it matches the pattern. It says, pitch, danger, and the walls go straight up.
It's like a spam filter in your actual head.
That is exactly what it is. And here's the thing that used to drive me crazy when I was struggling on the floor trying to get my revenue up. The rejection is not always a dial tone. It is not always an angry hang-up.
Oh, right. Sometimes they say on the line.
Which is almost worse. It is that flat, totally... Yes, go ahead.
Oh, man. I'm so guilty of this. I will be sitting there, typing an email, deep in my own work. My phone rings. I answer it. And the second I hear that upbeat pitch cadence, I just drop my voice. I go monotone. And I say, sure, go ahead.
And you are not listening at all.
Not a single word. I am still typing my email. I am just waiting for the first tiny gap in their speech so I can say, sorry, we are set, and hang up.
And as the person calling, you hear that go ahead and you think, I did it. I got permission.
You think you survived the hard part.
Right. You think you are in. So you start pushing all this eager energy into the phone, trying to make the sale, totally blind to the fact that the client left the building 2 seconds ago.
That is brutal. Because you are burning so much energy and maybe even burning a really good lead just because your tone triggered their spam filter.
It is the trap of routine. If you sound like what they expect a sales call to sound like, they will treat you the way they treat every sales call. They ignore you.
Okay, so if sounding predictable is what kills the chance, if that is what triggers the autopilot, then the fix has to be breaking the pattern, right?
You have to break the pattern.
And tell me if you felt this way too. When I hear about breaking a pattern on a cold call, my mind goes straight to that, like, boiler room movie stereotype.
Oh, the screaming on the floor?
Yeah. The guy who is just so loud, so aggressively confident. Like, you have to be this punchy, high-energy character to shock a busy client into listening to you.
Which is the biggest lie we tell ourselves in this job.
Really? Because you see managers pacing the floor, telling people to smile and dial, bring the energy, own the room.
And it ruins your conversion rate. It really does. Think about it from the other side. When someone comes at you with that loud, booming, fake confidence, does it make you trust them?
No. It makes me want to back away slowly.
Exactly. Because loud, aggressive confidence is just another version of the sales pattern. It still sounds like a pitch. The brain still filters it as trash.
So what does work then, if high energy just gets you flagged as spam?
The people who actually break through, the ones who are consistently hitting target and building a real pipeline, they do the exact opposite. They speak less, they drop their volume, and they use this calm, almost deeply curious tone.
Curious. Like they're trying to figure a puzzle out, not like they are trying to force a product on you.
Right. And they use a pause, a real deliberate silence right after they say hello.
A pause.
Yeah.
Just dead air.
Just for a beat. Because think about what the client is expecting. They pick up the phone, they hear a stranger, they brace themselves for the fast-talking rush of words, and instead, they get a calm voice and a tiny bit of silence.
It is a gap in the noise.
And that gap forces the brain to stumble. The client cannot rely on their autopilot anymore because you do not sound anxious. You do not sound like you are begging for their time. You sound comfortable. You sound like a peer.
That is so wild. Because when you are stressed about your commission, silence feels like death. You just want to fill the quiet so they do not hang up.
Which is exactly why rushing kills the call.
I was reading this thing, well, thinking about this idea of how we react in stores.
Yeah.
It is the perfect way to picture this. You walk into a retail shop.
Okay, yeah.
And the person working there walks up and does that classic retail sing-song voice. Hi there, can I help you find something today?
And you just say, no thanks, just looking.
Every single time. Just looking. You say it without even breaking your stride. You did not even think about what they asked. You just reacted to the melody of the question.
Because it is a script, and scripts get scripted answers.
Exactly. But imagine if that same person walked up, did not use the retail voice, and just asked something super specific. Like, hey, were you looking for those boots that just went on sale? Or did you need something for the rain?
You would stop walking. You physically have to stop to answer that.
Yes, because
Right.
they bypassed the script, they asked a real question, and they treated you like a human being in a normal chat. They forced you off autopilot.
That is the whole goal. The goal of those first few seconds is not to pitch your product. It is just to earn the right to say the next sentence. You are just trying to get them to pause and realize, oh, this is a real person talking to me.
Earning the next pause. That changes everything. It takes so much pressure off. Because you are not trying to close a deal in 30 seconds.
No, you are just trying to start a chat. And to do that, you have to fight your own body. When we are scared of rejection, our nervous system freaks out. We talk faster. We rush.
We get commission breath.
Commission breath, yes. And the person listening hears that speed and their brain says, this person is anxious, they must not be important. You have to consciously slow your pace down.
Slowing down signals that you belong there.
It signals status. It says, I belong on your calendar today.
I want to look at how this plays out for normal people on the floor. Not the born naturals, but the folks really grinding. I remember hearing about this guy. Let's call him Michael, just a normal B2B rep.
We all know him, Michael.
We really do. And Michael was just hitting a brutal wall. He was getting told, not interested, 15 seconds into every call, just dial tone after dial tone.
Which just breeds dread. You start staring at the phone like it is a snake.
And that dread makes you tense up, so the next call you talk even faster.
Yeah.
And you get rejected even faster. It is this terrible loop.
So what did he do?
He actually went back and listened to his own calls. And he realized he was talking at twice his normal speed. Just a pure panic dunk of words. And he was not asking a single question.
He was just talking at them, throwing features at a wall.
Right. So he made a tiny shift. He forced himself to slow down to his actual normal speaking pace. And he forced himself to ask just one relevant question early on. And within, 2 weeks, the hang-ups basically stopped.
Because he stopped sounding like a threat. He transferred the energy.
Transferred the energy. Tell me more about that. What do you mean by that?
Think about a bad date. If one person is just talking and talking about themselves, it is exhausting, right? They are pushing all their energy onto you.
Yeah, you just want to go home.
Right. It is a one-way street. But when someone asks you a good question and they actually get quiet and listen to your answer, the energy shifts. Now you're the one holding the floor.
People like holding the floor.
They love it. And in sales, whoever is talking the most usually feels the most comfortable. If you let the client speak early on, they relax, they stay on the line longer.
Because you gave him a voice. It is so simple. But then you have folks like, let us call her Jennifer, a totally different problem from Michael.
How so?
Well, Jennifer was not scared of the phone. She had been doing this for years. She had this highly polished, very smooth script, but her numbers had completely flatlined. She was stuck on this plateau, and she could not figure out why.
I bet she sounded a little too perfect.
That was exactly it. She sounded so professional, but it was basically a monologue. It was an announcement, not a chat. It demanded zero brain power from the client. They could just tune her out while she gave her perfect speech.
You see that with veterans a lot. They get so comfortable saying the same words that they stop being present in the moment. The words are right, but the music is wrong.
The music is wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. So she just added a slight pause and one open question to break up her perfect intro. And that tiny tweak broke her plateau right away.
And notice what neither of them did.
What?
They did not change the price. They did not change what they were selling. They did not invent some magic new feature.
Oh, man. That is so true. They literally just changed the wrapping paper.
The wrapping paper is everything. The way you package the words matters way more than the words themselves in those first 30 seconds.
But doing this in real life, it is messy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is so easy for us to sit here drinking tea, saying, just pause and speak slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are on the floor and your manager is hovering and you are trying to hit your daily targets, things get sloppy.
They get very sloppy. There are so many quiet little habits that ruin a call, even if you know the right words to say.
Like what is a hidden trap people fall into?
The biggest one, looking at your screen while you talk.
Like reading the client nights.
Yeah, you are staring at your system, trying to read their bio while you are doing your intro.
But wait, we are told to do that, right? To be prepared. Why is that bad?
Because your visual focus takes up a huge amount of brain power. If you are reading text on a screen, your voice flattens out. You lose all that warm human modulation.
You sound like a robot reading a script.
Even if you are not reading a script, just reading your notes makes you sound hollow. And the client, on some deep gut level, they hear it. They hear that you are not really with them. You are reading at them.
That makes so much sense. Because when I am fully focused on someone, my voice naturally shifts and dips and expresses feeling. If I am multitasking, I sound dead.
Exactly. You have to look away from the screen when you say hello.
Okay, here's another massive trap. The early rejection. You do everything right, you slow down, you pause, you ask a great question, and they immediately hit you with, we already have a vendor, or we have no budget.
The classic reflex no.
Yeah, and as a rep, your heart sinks. You think, well, the call is dead. They said no.
But that early no is rarely a real no. Because think about it, they do not even know what you are really offering yet. How can they reject a product they do not understand?
So what are they rejecting?
They are testing you. It is a behavioral test. They throw up a quick wall to see what you will do.
A test of what?
Respect. They want to see if you are going to get pushy or defensive, or if you will act like a peer. If you rush past their objection and try to argue with them.
Like, but wait, our product is actually cheaper than your vendor.
Right. If you do that, you fail the test. You just proved you are a generic, desperate salesperson. You showed them you care more about your pitch than their reality.
Oh, wow. So how do you pass the test?
You stay totally calm and you just acknowledge it. You say something like, that makes total sense. I assumed you had someone in place for this. No pressure, no argument.
You validate their wall.
You validate it, and by doing that, the wall gets a little bit lower. You build trust in like 5 seconds just by not fighting them. You prove you are a safe person to talk to.
A safe person, that is powerful. Because nobody feels safe with a desperate rep pushing features down their throat.
Exactly.
But let me ask you this, because this is the elephant in the room for anyone calling high up the food chain. What if you were calling a senior leader? Someone who has been pitched to every single day for 20 years.
They have heard it all.
They know exactly what you are doing. They know it is a cold pitch. Does this slow, calm, curious thing just seem like a cheap trick to them?
If you treat it like a trick, yes. The goal here is not to hide the fact that you are making a business call. You are at work, they are at work. You cannot trick a smart leader.
Right. They will see through it in a second.
The goal is not to hide the call. The goal is to hide that it is a generic call.
You want to sound rare.
Yes. Leaders are so tired of loud, robotic, pushy calls. When someone finally calls them and sounds calm, respectful, and genuinely curious, it is like a breath of fresh air.
You stand out just by being normal.
Just by being a peer. And if they are clearly having a terrible day and they sound super rushed, do not try to force your pitch. Just name it. Hey, you sound incredibly busy. Should I call back next week?
Which earns so much respect.
So much respect because you are showing them that you value their time more than your immediate need to pitch.
It is a massive shift in how we think about this job.
Yeah.
You go from feeling this desperate need to be interesting, right? Like you have to dazzle them in 30 seconds. And
Yes.
you shift to just being genuinely interested in them. You drop the performance, you lower their guard, you just try to earn one more small step in the chat.
And honestly, the value of learning this goes way beyond hitting a sales target.
Oh, for sure. It changes everything.
If you are a new rep on the floor and you are terrified of the phone, learning how to control your pace and your tone gives you your power back, it cuts the anxiety down.
And if you are a manager, your habits set the bar for the whole room.
Oh.
If you are rushing and screaming, your team will rush and scream.
But even if you zoom way out past the company, past the pipeline,
Sure.
we live in a world where everyone is glued to a screen. Human attention is the rarest thing on earth.
It really is.
If you can build the quiet habit of slowing down, using a real pause, and showing true curiosity, you get a massive edge in life. Any hard conversation gets easier.
It really changes how you connect with the world. Which brings me to a final thought I want to leave you with today. We have spent this whole time talking about how the brain decides to trust a stranger in just a few seconds, and how that choice is based almost completely on pace and tone, not the actual words,
Just the music.
just the music.
Yeah.
So if our brains are built to react that strongly to the format of how someone speaks, how much of the friction in your own daily life is not actually about the topic you are fighting over? Think about the fights you have with your partner, or the weird tense moments with folks at work.
Wow. Yeah.
What if the root of that tension is not the issue itself? What if it is just the rushing, anxious, defensive tone you're using the exact second you open your mouth? What if you just need to slow down, pause, and get curious?
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Sales Geeks has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same honest way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to you, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life. And it helps Sales Geeks reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, look for the join button right next to the Sales Geeks logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Sales Support Circle. Your support helps honest sales awareness reach thousands who are silently struggling. Sales Geeks moves forward because of you. Thank you so much from the heart for being here.